Please listen carefully.
Hey everybody, this is Jace with Marshall Made Collectibles, and today we're going to do another in my restring videos. For those that are familiar with me, I came out with a while ago a Floppy Joe kit, which is used for like the 1960s Joes. It even will work for the Adventure Team Joes, Action Man, and Real Heroes figures. And it will also work on the newer Club Joes that came out if they start to get loose, or like the Masterpiece Edition Joes. I also make an Alien restring kit. Hang on, let me go ahead and pull this over. For like the 79 Kenner Alien. I also make Captain Action kits. And thanks to one of my friends on Facebook, I'd like to give a shout out to Will Hoover. He kind of inspired me and helped me with the R&D of making a Talking Joe kit, which I've had these out for a while, and I call them my Chatty Joe kits. And that's what these are. And basically that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to use one of my Chatty Joe kits. And we're not just going to restring this. This is a Talking 60s Joe. He's got a couple issues that we're going to address. First of all, he's really dirty. He's got really loose knees, and we've got some knee cracks as well. But we're going to go ahead and do like a full restoration on this guy. And as you can see, he's extremely loose. So we're going to use one of my Chatty Joe kits to, let's see if I can get him to stand. He might not want to. All right, there we go. But we're going to use one of my Chatty Joe kits to go ahead and tighten him up. And his talk mechanism works. But it sounds a little garbled, and we're going to clean that too. So basically, this whole kit is going to be a full resto on this Talking Joe kit, which this is a friend of mine, Andrew McCready. He sent this to me to let me go ahead and fix this up for him, and so we can go ahead and install the Chatty Joe kit. So hang on. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clean him up completely, which is going to be the first step of my process, and then we're going to come back and I'll tell you exactly what I did to clean him up, and then we're going to go ahead and move into the restring kit. Okay everybody, we're back, and you just watched a slideshow of my restoration process. Now there's a few things that we're going to address on that you did not see in that slideshow. One of the main ones being that this chest cavity, upon inspection after I was cleaning it, I noticed that the little plastic piece that actually adds the tension for the legs was cracked, almost completely in half where it was barely on. So I simply removed it. I drilled me a pilot hole, and I used a metal rivet to replace that. Now that is going to add a lot more strength than the original ABS plastic. It's not original, of course, but it does fix the problem. The other things that we did is we cleaned the talking mechanism. And if you look close, that has little grooves on it. And that's how the talker on these 1960s figures worked. As you pulled the string, you've got this metal binding that lets it pull back and forth. And a little needle, almost like a phonograph or a record, is what reads that. By using a little alcohol on a cotton swab while it's running and placing it on that, you'll clean up those lines, and it will definitely make it louder and more audible. Now, it's not going to sound like a sound chip from 2018 because this is a 1960s toy, but it definitely will sound better. The other things that you have to watch out for is these are very brittle, hence why that piece was cracked and we had to replace that. If you've noticed, around these screw heads are these holes for the screws, they're already cracked. And on the back shell, we have another area that's cracked. So when you're taking these apart or putting them back together, I can't stress enough, do not make them over taut. You don't want to do it. You're just going to crack the plastic more. The other thing that we went ahead and changed is on the back half of these. If you've ever taken one of these figures apart, especially with these old talkers, you'll find black dust and these little granules everywhere. And that's because there's a foam piece back here that adds tension against the talk mechanism. So when the halves are sandwiched together, it doesn't float around. You can fix that by not, if it's not there anymore, and chances are 9 times out of 10 it's gone or it's rotted to the point that it's ineffective, is you can just put some felt feet on the back of that talking mechanism, and you can get those at the dollar store on like little sheets. I just put a little, 2 of them on the back of the talking mechanism, and I've never had problems with them since. They work really well. The other thing that we addressed are the shoulder joints. Since there is no string basically that holds the head and the arms on, they're just held on with like these plastic button pieces. And there used to be like these rubber grommets. Now, if you looked at the part where I took this apart, or at the very beginning of the video, they were sticking out of the shoulder joints because they were rotten and falling apart. They were basically dry rotted. So to fix that, we just wrapped that with some sign vinyl, cut it in 1/8 strips, and we put it around that joint. That will add tension so the arms can move around and not flop. It'll definitely still hold a pose. And again, everything that we've done here is what I'm always big on preaching. This has been restoration without alteration. Everything that we have done here can be undone. So if the new owner does not want like the binding around the legs to prevent the cracks from getting worse, they can take them off. If they don't want this on here and they want the shoulder joints to flop and be loose, they can take it off. None of the stuff that we've done here has changed it in any way. And in fact, I will even keep this little plastic piece and give it to Andrew when I send him this figure after I do the restoration, just because it's original to the figure. Granted, it's a piece of broken plastic, but it's part of this figure. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and do our restring. And all you need to do a restring of one of these figures is one of my Chatty Joe kits. Now, eventually, or inevitably, I will always get emails from other customizers, people that restore old figures, and they get ultimately pissed that I'm telling everybody how I do stuff. I've always been that way. If you follow me on Facebook or you follow me on any of my boards, I always tell everybody my process or my recipe for doing stuff. I don't have a problem with that. I love the hobby, and if I can do anything that can help people do stuff or restore old figures, take something out of a junk drawer and bring it back to life, all the better. My kits I make and I sell on my Evil Bay or eBay store. I also sell them directly through Facebook. I only sell them for $12.50. Usually you can catch them on sale. They're under 10 bucks. That's another thing that I do, and I do these tutorial videos so people can do stuff at home. Now, I'll always get people going, well, I make my own kits. That's great. Then you don't need me. Maybe you watch my videos because it helps you in your process. That's great. But I always look at it like I know how to change the oil on my car, but I still take it to Jiffy Lube because it saves me time and money. My kits are the same way. If you want to go through the process of measuring stuff out and getting it just right and doing it yourself, more power to you. In fact, I think that's great. But if you want to go with my kits, you know that they're made out of high quality products. I use a 5mm bungee. I heat sink the ends so they'll never fray. I use only galvanized stainless steel so they'll never rust. And my clips and hooks are put together with over 500 pounds of foot pressure, so you never have to worry about them coming apart. But going back to the people that get upset because I reveal this stuff, I'm sorry. Then my stuff is not for you, but I don't think that stuff like this should be a secret in a hobby that we share. We're a very small group. We're grown men and women that love toys. It's very easy to throw rocks at our glass houses, and I don't see doing that within our own community, so I'm always happy to share. with that said and that out of the way, let's go ahead and do this. And we're going to do this all in one shot. So this is not no cut scenes, no nothing like this, like, oh, I'll come back. This is all, you're going to see me put it together, which is a little odd because I'm doing it at a different angle because the camera's above me off to the side. I'm left-handed. I'm used to just doing this in front of myself, but we're going to go ahead and just try to do it all on camera. The only thing you're going to need is, if you've watched any of my other videos, is you're going to need a pull-through tool or something that you can grab the elastic with. This is just a piece of high gauge metal that I've rolled to make a hook on one end and a grab on the other side that I can pull. And that's hence the name, the pull-through tool. You'll see this in my Captain Action restring kits, and you'll see it in my Floppy Joe kits. So, just need a Chatty Joe kit from Marshall Made Collectibles. Got one here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a thigh ball and we're going to push it through. And we are going to grab a leg. Make sure you got the right one. Because believe me, even I, in a hurry, have put together figures and got done and looked at them and had the legs on backwards. Could not happen? Yes, it can. All right, we got one leg, one thigh ball. Going to push this through the pelvis. Another thigh ball. And again, I'm sorry if I go out of camera. Again, I'm working off to my left side, and it is a little different for me. All right. Basically, we have our lower half put together. We got our thighs, our legs, and if you look down there, we have our string kit. This is where your pull-through tool comes in handy. We're going to go down and hook that elastic, and then we are going to pull it back and put it towards the back of the butt. Oh, sorry. See, I just went out of camera. Out to the back of the butt. We're going to take our chest cavity with our new pin, and hopefully this doesn't pop. I think I've given it enough time for it to dry. And we are going to put that right there. And we need to slide our pull-through tool out, which is easier said than done. And I just hit the camera with my face. I apologize for it wiggling. And I did it again. Sorry. I should have gave myself more distance between me and the camera. There we go. Got it out. Okay, so at this point, actually, we are restrung. And see how the legs are not floppy anymore. They're holding the pose. It's exactly what we wanted. Now for me, I always find this part to be easiest if you lay him down flat. Okay? And then we're going to take our arms, take our left arm, put that on. Take our right arm, put that on. Oop. I'm going to move these screws out of the way. And I clean the screws too. I think we showed that in the pictures. Me. All right. And we got the head on. Now this is the tricky part. We're going to put the back on. I find if you start at the head and start to slowly push it together. And then what we're going to do is you're going to pull the butt forward. Let's see, we've got that little stud at the bottom. You're just going to push that in. And we are done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our screws in. Now, like I said, brittle plastic, do not need to be over tightening these screws at all. So we're going to do one, slowly tighten. Good. The other one, slowly tighten. Wait a second, make sure that we've got that lined up right, yeah. And we're not going to over tighten these. is tight enough. And that one is tight enough. Floppy no more. Arms are nice and tight. Head is nice and tight. Our new clean talking mechanism. Oh, hang on a second. I've held onto it. So we are all done. I'm going to back up the camera a second. Let's see if we can back it up. There we go. And we'll put Joe back here. So that was a start to finish restoration on a talking Adventure Team Joe. And I hope that helped. Again, I sell the Chatty Joe kits through Facebook and eBay. You can also find my Floppy Joe kits there too, the Captain Action ones, the Alien kits, everything. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Like, subscribe. If you've got other people that you know, I can really use the subscribers. For some reason, Facebook will not let me monetize anymore unless I have over 1,000 subscribers, and I'm a small channel, so anything that you can do to get word of mouth out there, it will be appreciated. And again, this is Jace Marshall for Marshall Made Collectibles. Thank you for watching. Take care. Have a great day.